There is a very, very successful show now in New York that comedians going on stage naked.
Okay.
It's a big success. I don't know why people want, it's the same comedy. Think about the show we did. We just published that it's a naked show, and probably we would sell it out easily.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tomasz Biskup, and I would like to invite you to my podcast Zdarzyło się w trasie, which you may loosely translate into English as happened on the road. I usually record the podcast in Polish, and this is first ever episode that I recorded in English. So if you are a Polish speaker and if you want to make your life easier and you're watching this on YouTube, please turn on the subtitles. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please give a huge round of applause to my today's guest, Erik Angel, stand-up comedian that is usually based in New York City.
So how are you today, Erik?
I'm okay. I'm fine. I don't know.
Okay.
No, I know, because where I'm coming from, the world I'm coming from, is people ask you how you're doing, and you just say something that nobody really cares. But I understand that here in this culture in Poland, where we are now, people actually is telling you.
Yeah. It's also like hello, asking how do you do. It's also like hello. It may be.
Yeah.
But people at least want to hear good, not good. I've been up to this. I was there. I'm eating a donut. They actually want to hear anything, and usually the people that are surprised by that are English people.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
Because they're not used to express their feelings, I guess, in public.
yeah, and especially after hearing this question.
Yeah.
Especially after hearing how do you?
Especially after drinking too much here in Krakow again.
Yeah, after drinking too much, they may be overly eager to share their feelings.
That's true. That's basically true.
That's the thing. So I assume in Israel you also do not answer to the question, how do you do?
Not really. You answer it, in a very, okay, yeah, great, sure. Nothing very superficial, nothing real or true.
Okay.
Mostly, unless it's a close friend and you have something on your heart and you have to take out some steam and you know that you will have the energy for that. Nobody is going to tell you the truth.
Okay. I would like to move to one of your projects. Could you tell us a little bit about Comedy for Peace?
Yes, absolutely. 6 years ago, I decided to establish, basically I didn't decide to establish it, I just wanted to do an evening with Jewish and Muslim comedians.
Okay.
I just had an idea. It seems to me something fun to do, to bring the two different communities, to do something just for fun, to show how easy to do, without politics,
Okay.
and involve just sitting under one roof for 2 hours and learn about each other, laugh, and see how easy it is to do. And it was a really, really big success. We did it in New York City. More than 250 people bought tickets.
Okay.
And people loved it. So I got a lot of energy to keep going. And I did another one, and it was really good, still in New York. And I decided just to establish a project from it. And the last 6 years, we did more than 200 shows in more than 80 cities in the US and Canada.
Okay. That's huge.
We're doing a lot. We keep going. We have a full schedule until the end of the year, already 2026. It became for me even more important after October 7 and the horrible war in the Middle East started. For me, it's helping me to stay sane. It's still not about politics, but we are sitting in the end. During the year, I established a Q&A in the end.
Yeah, but also you send a message to the world that actually Jewish people and Muslim people can live together without...
Absolutely. Also, by the way, we have Christians now. We're also doing the Muslim, Jewish, Christian, many shows like that. Sometimes Indian people joining us, comedians. We are, the more the merrier. But no, absolutely, because I know why I started it, because I grew up in Israel with 2 million Arabs, most of them Muslims. There's also Christian. But I never met them. I didn't have an Arab friend at school or in my basketball team, or I started to meet Arabs and Muslims only when I started to travel in the world. I went to Egypt, to Sinai, or to India, to everywhere in the world, and I met Muslim people, and we were supposed to be like enemies or afraid from each other, but it was exactly the opposite. It was like we were very curious about each other. We wanted to know.
After all, you speak languages from one language group. I mean, both Hebrew and Arabic are from Semitic group.
That's true. That's true. Of course, the Arabs in Israel also speak Hebrew, and I'm using many Arab words in my Hebrew, but I'm pretty ashamed that I don't know Arabic. I can communicate a little bit. I can build a sentence or two or ask something. So it's true. We're coming from the same background. Especially if we are from the Middle East, we are coming from this exactly same food, same cuisine. We love the same music, culture. There's many things that
same weather.
Same weather. Even now that I'm talking with you, this is how we talk with the hands. This is another thing that when I moved to America, I started to understand that I'm Jewish and Israeli, but I'm also Middle Eastern. Because this is, I look like I'm German or French or in Poland.
Yeah, European,
but I'm 100% Middle Eastern. I was born there.
Like you could be selling potatoes at Nowy Kleparz, and I wouldn't notice.
Yeah, people here talking to me in Polish. I'm going to a Żabka, and then I'm saying in English, there's this small left. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. And I understand. Three of my grandparents are born and raised in Poland, so of course, I have connection to Europe.
And kinda Ukraine, from what you told me.
Yeah, but one of them was in Poland, in Stanislavov, in Galicia, but now it's Ukraine. So
now it's Ukraine.
You decide if I'm also Ukrainian or not.
It depends. Like history of Galicia was very complex. I want to be clear that I think that Stanisławów is Ivano-Frankowsk, and it should stay this way. I'm not one of the Polish people that say it should come back.
Okay.
We will move to Poland. It should stay this way. But the history there was very complex. From what I remember, most people in the cities were Polish people. Most people in the countryside were Ukrainians. And also there were Jewish people, and if the Jewish people thought about themselves, if they were Polish or Ukrainian or just Jewish or Austro-Hungarian, it depended on family.
Yeah, I think you know more than me about the subject, but I can tell you about my personal story. My grandfather was a very proud Polish man. He was very proud in his education and the culture he's coming from. And being a Galicianer, I heard it all my life from Galicia. It was a thing in our home, Galicia, Polish. He really put down the Israelis, the Israeli culture. Everything was better in Poland for him. In addition to that,
he was openly Jewish. I mean, he was.
Yeah, he suffered. He was openly Jewish. He suffered from anti-Semitism. He has a very big nose, and he was get to fistfights and stuff based on his Judaism. I think this is what pushed him eventually to the Zionist idea that started to be popular in those years in Europe, and what made him do a crazy thing. And because he was studied to be a doctor in Prague, he left Prague. He said goodbye to his beautiful farm in Galicia and Stanislavov, and he went to Palestine to be a farmer and work construction and fight for Israel and for the Zionist idea. So he had problems, and he never saw his family ever again, and it's a big tragedy. But he knew how to split between those things. He still was a proud Polish man, Galicianer, that waking up every day after his nap at 4 and making his potatoes and eating his Polish.
He grew potatoes and beetroot in Israel?
He didn't grow that, but he had a whole small, so it wasn't a farm, but he had many trees of fruits and all kind of what you can adult fruits, lemon, grapefruit, orange, things like that, but not, he didn't have beetroots.
Okay, so he had to learn from growing a beet to growing like grapefruit?
I guess so. He had a beautiful like garden in the back of his house. So
I've got a little more trivia about Galicia. It is understandable only in Polish. It was Kingdom or Duchy of Galicia and Lodomeria, the official name.
Yeah.
I don't remember Kingdom or Duchy, but it was called Galicia and Lodomeria. It's like naked and hungry.
okay.
Because it was so poor. So
Yeah.
many people escaped from here to anywhere.
Yeah.
Because Kraków was also Galicia and
Yeah. I
Lodomeria.
never heard him saying that they were poor. I think they were growing to themselves everything, and I never heard that he has nothing. Well, he didn't have something.
I mean,
But I don't know exactly, the economic situation.
there were people in Lodomeria that were doing pretty good, but
Yeah.
at the same time, most of them were doing pretty bad. I mean, apparently we come from good Galicia and Lodomeria backgrounds because your grandpa was doing apparently good. One of my grandpas was also from Sanok, that was also Galicia, they also were doing good. And my girlfriend Anya's grandparents even had their own building in Stanisławów. So they were doing especially good.
So this is exactly like Comedy for Peace. You see, we're so different, but we still have so much things alike. Your
Yeah.
girlfriend come from the same area that my grandfather. So this is where it's coming, this Comedy for Peace, just to show that we eventually much more alike than different. And if we're not, great, also great.
Yeah.
Because you have, I'll enjoy your culture, your food, your music. Show me what you got and let's have fun. So this is where
From
it's
Poland,
coming
we can show you beetroot soup.
Yeah. So it's funny. So I established a project, and I did it really with a laptop and 10 fingers, and I started to write to organizations. And after 5 or 6 months, I created the first West Coast tour, like to California, Los Angeles, 5 shows, 5 days, different cities. That was very hard. I did tons of mistakes as a producer. I brought with me too many comedians.
Okay.
It was, I just started in comedy and also as a producing. And in America, I did many mistakes. But the funny thing that was it was February 2020, and my second tour was March 10 and 11 in Canada, 2020. I don't know if you remember, but the world collapsed in America from COVID around those days. So I am in Montreal, in Ottawa, bringing peace to the world. And my wife over the phone, the world is collapsing, there's no toilet paper, they're not gonna let you out. From Canada, you have to come back. And we didn't understand what people are talking about. When we arrived to the airport back, the airport was empty. So we started to understand what's going on. We had a flight maybe with other 3 or 4 people. And I landed in New York, and a new era started. It was insane.
Yeah, I also remember a couple of days before it actually collapsed. My mom called me that there's this new virus, and I was like, "Mom, stop believing conspiracy theories." She was like, "My friends told me." "No, Mom, your friends do not know shit." And of course, my mom does not believe conspiracy theories. I was just sure it's not going to happen because media scared us with different diseases. Like once every 3 years, there was like SARS.
Right.
That was supposed to kill whole the Europe, but then it did not.
Zika. All kind of,
even,
chicken flu.
Mutation of Ebola.
That's true.
Suddenly going to adapt to European standards, to European climate.
Yeah.
Now I just believe it may happen. And to the first shows of Comedy for Peace, who came? Jewish people and Muslims, or also stand-up comedy fans from other ethnicities?
I think, good question. The first show was mostly, there was some Muslims there, but mostly it was Jewish people that came. We did it in a synagogue, in a venue in a synagogue.
Okay.
I asked the Muslim comedians how they feel about it. They say, great, I have no, things changed so much the last 6 years because today, I guess things are going to be a little bit different. The answer is going to be a little bit different because everything is so tense. And the second show was in Harlem, in a Jewish community center, but in Harlem, that is a mostly black area, so that was really diverse crowd. And many people that just wanted to hear comedy, I think, came.
Okay.
And now we're trying, you know, every show it's a different story, and we're trying to make it diverse as possible. Even though even if I have shows that the majority are Jewish, it's also okay because I think many Jews are afraid from Muslims. So it's also good for them to sit there for an hour and a half
Okay.
and to understand something and to talk. And I see their reactions after. People are like in shock, and people even last year some I don't know 82 years old Jewish guy said it was beautiful, that he was afraid all his life from Muslim people, and now he's very regretful that he didn't try to meet. Or because why are we afraid from each other in general? Because we don't know each other. It's very easy to stay in your tribe and to afraid from the other. The other is bad, the other is that, the other, you know.
Yeah, usually we are afraid because of the past or because of some stereotypes that
I'm
we
sure that many
believe.
Polish people here in Krakow, when they see all this, you know, I'm coming here for 10 years. There is a huge amount of Muslims here the last year or 2 or 3 that come in here as tourists. I'm sure that many of the Polish people that live here, when they see them, they're a little bit concerned.
Yeah, I'm used to meeting people from different cultures because performing in English. So I am.
Okay.
And still, when for the first time I saw an Irani group in the Zakrzówek next to us, in the park next to us, I was like, "What's happening? That's weird. They should not."
Exactly. Because it's different, and immediately, no, it's different. I'm better. Who are they?
I don't think I'm better. I was just surprised.
You know, I'm talking in the general.
Yeah.
People are just afraid from something they don't know.
Yeah,
You know.
in general, yes. Although nowadays we're having a very interesting plot twist south from Krakow, because nowadays we've got lots of tourists from Saudi Arabia and other rich Arab countries, and many of them come to Krakow and then go to Zakopane. There's these stereotypes about Highlanders from Zakopane, Górals, that they are conservative, which I believe is very true, and that, you know, conservative societies may be quite xenophobic. But there's other stereotype that they like money. So when Arab people from Saudi Arabia started going there,
With a lot of money.
they adapted like this, and now this. Now this, you know, conservative people, very closed, suddenly are putting advertisements in Arabic because money.
Of course.
Yeah, and I think very fast Górals, Highlanders from Zakopane will be having traditional mountain shows with some Arabic elements.
You also see here in Krakow, suddenly there's more restaurants for the crowd.
Lots
Business.
of
People want to have money. They don't care.
lots of tourists from Muslim countries, and also I'm quite sure more Muslims live here,
Yeah.
because some ladies in the hijab, I don't really remember the difference, which is burqa, which is hijab.
The burqa is the full that you
Yeah,
don't see.
so in hijabs, some ladies in hijabs seem like they were living here and not just visiting.
Yeah, I see in Klepash, I think there are people that live here, work here, doing business here. All the kebab industry here.
Yeah, definitely. Kebab industry was the first thing that started changing things. I mean, I think most Muslim people that came here first started working in kebabs.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but
I don't want to be, too judgmental about it, but I have to tell you there's something you have to do better in Krakow. is the Middle Eastern food. Those kebab, it's not the real deal. It's not the real deal. This is not how it's supposed to taste. It can be much, much better.
I mean, it's already Krakow's version of Middle Eastern.
Yeah. No, I heard there is somebody controlling all the meat. You know, there is some mafia here going on. There is something going on here. But I don't live here, so I can say. Thomas has no connection to the...
No, I have no connection to kebab mafia. I worked in Italian restaurant and Mexican one, never in kebab. So
Yeah.
only
How it
Mexican.
developed here? There is Mexican now and Thai food. Good food you have now in there.
Yeah.
It's really developed internationally. And also the Polish food is good.
Yeah, a little bit, not that diverse. Polish food. I mean, I
Yeah.
like Polish food, but it's mostly pierogi, bigos, and yeah. Do you eat schnitzel?
Of course, it's my comfort food. The Polish food you serve here.
Well, because it's made of pig, so I was not sure if.
No, there is also chicken. No, I can
That's
eat.
not schnitzel.
There is chicken cutlet. There is like a
No.
filet. How you say? Kolchuka. How you say it?
Karkówka.
Yeah, there is chicken schnitzel here.
Yeah, there is, but actually the original schnitzel should be made out of
Who
pigs.
said it? Who decided?
My grandma. Yeah, that's.
There is in pig, there is veal, there is. I love that. Yeah, and you know, I grew up on this food that, by the way, in Israel, considered boring. All the Polish people consider the food not tasty. The women are bad in bed. There is many jokes about us, the Polish people in Israel, because
About
the Polish culture.
Israeli people with Polish descendancy, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I grew up as an Ashkenazi Jew, so basically it's against me that our food is terrible, and we don't know to express feelings, and the women are very cold in bed, and something like that. Yeah. But I love Polish food, and I'm married to a Polish woman, so.
So about comedy for peace,
Yeah.
this podcast usually works this way, that I try to get to the topic and then we wander somewhere else. I believe you met some very interesting people while doing comedy for peace, people that we will not meet in Polish comedy very soon. I remember, for example, you mentioned a lady that is Orthodox Jewish and does stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
In Poland, it sounds as a joke itself.
So I can tell you, first of all, in America, in New York, in general, the comedy scene is very diverse. Really, if you're a few years in New York, you're going to see everything. During my years and as an open micer in the beginning, I really saw everything. I saw started doing comedy. I saw people without hands. I did wheelchairs on one leg. Big, fat, every ethnicity you can think in the world. So I basically saw everyone doing comedy in America. And I always surprised. I saw people 90 years old starting to do comedy. Really, I saw everything. And there is also a big Jewish comedy scene that in synagogues, in Jewish organizations, at private shows, in clubs. There are many, and there are also Orthodox Jews that doing comedy. And some of them are really doing well. The lady that you're talking about, her name is Karmia Weinrob. She's Orthodox Jewish woman, going with the Jewish hijab. You know, again, we are the same. The Muslim women, the Orthodox going with hijab, and they're calling it the same, but it's the same look. We don't have burqa in Judaism. We don't cover the women completely. I think it's really hard for me to see women completely covered, but this is a different topic. Karmia, she's a mother of 5, and a few years ago she started to do stand-up comedy, and she's very talented, and she has her own interfaith projects. She's part of Comedy for Peace sometimes, and me and her doing like sometimes small tours we build together as a kosher comedy nights.
Kosher comedy nights.
Kosher comedy, it means clean comedy basically.
Okay.
That she's opening for, like we did, you know, she's opening like 25, 30 minutes, and I'm taking it from there. We call it kvetch, and we love to do it. And
What I will try to pronounce that. What kwetch?
Kvetch.
Kwetch.
Kvetch. It's like a word in Yiddish, and it can mean all kind of things. But to be like, stop kvetching is like stop being. It's like to be like disturbed or annoyed or you kvetch. You know, you hear something you don't like, you kvetching. You are shrinking yourself. It's and I also learned there is some food that's called kvetch. Yiddish is a very funny language in general that I don't know much, but it's just schmeckel and kvetch and schmatte and dreck. It's very fun. All the words are very expressive. You know what is dreck? Dreck is like disgusting. So so like you see like this soup is dreck. Or this sofa is dreck.
It sounds very, very German.
Yeah.
I know,
exactly, it's coming from there. It's coming from there.
I know Yiddish is Germanic.
Yeah,
so the first fun fact for today, because I know most Polish people do not know that Yiddish is a Germanic language.
Right, my mother knows Yiddish and she got along in German pretty easy. Yeah, it's true. You're right.
Yeah, it's Germanic with some Hebrew words and some Polish words and some Russian words.
And it's very expressive, and they say there is many jokes and there is a lot of humor in this language because they say the situation was so bad in so many times for the Jewish people in those places. It was or to cry or to laugh. Okay. So it created a culture of very sharp humor.
Okay.
And it's such expressive language, you know, like brag. What you can say about, I don't know, probably having Polish something like that, but it's so kvetch, it's like that. And I love to travel with Carmia. I even sometimes, if we're in the area of her house, sometimes I'm staying with her family. She has a big house, and everybody's very welcoming and sweet. And I love to speak with her about comedy. Many other comedians that I'm traveling with all the time want to speak about other comedians or about the industry. With Carmia, I'm talking about punchlines, about ideas, and I love it. This is what I love about comedy. You know, it's fascinating me, the next joke, the next solution. How sometimes a word can change the whole beat. How something you're doing for 5 years, suddenly you're taking it from a different angle and it's completely different thing and doing even better.
Yeah.
So I really like her collaboration, and we keep doing it. So yeah, Orthodox Jewish woman doing comedy, touring.
Great. You mentioned you've seen all types of comedy from many different ethnicities.
Yes.
And do you remember the most unusual comedian you've seen in New York?
Yes. I basically saw him in. By the way, I'm sure people heard about it, but you know, in America. Now the Trump administration and all this, they're trying to fight what they call in America woke.
Okay.
You know, it's politically correct and woke, and there are people that want to call, that they have pronouns, they want to be called he, she, they. Even for me as an Israeli lives there, it's hard for me to understand. But in the East Coast mostly, the comedy is more, it's more PC. It's more like, you know, you're not gonna insult black. Like if you're a black person, you mostly can laugh about black people. But me, I'm not supposed to laugh about, this is another thing. I'm not supposed to laugh about, like say, women or Asian people or black people. And this is everybody's supposed to just laugh about himself. Somehow everybody is laughing at the Jews. This is something that it's okay. Everybody can laugh about the Jews. So, and you have the other one that came from this world, that Joe Rogan is the king of the non-woke.
Okay.
And he opened a club in Austin, Texas, the mothership, and the people moving there, it became a new mecca of comedy in America, because you had New York, you had Los Angeles, now it's Austin, Texas, and there, it's like if you go to see comedy.
Like you have to start a show with a howdy partners.
You have to do, you know, to put down ethnicity and to do the N word and the R word, and everybody have to be like, you feel that
R word?
Well, are retarded, you know. In New York, you're not going to say midget, you're not going to say retarded, you're not going to say words like that.
Okay.
And there, it's like people going against that in purpose. But, so I saw a lot of bad comedy there. But a few years ago, I heard about this guy. There is a comedian, his name is Brian Holtzman. And Brian Holtzman, he was for years some kind of a secret of the comedy world. that they gave him only to perform in one club, Comedy Store in Los Angeles, very famous one, but only at midnight, and then he go for an hour.
Okay.
I came there, I heard about him, I met him before the show, we became friends in a second. I went to see him. 10 minutes after Brian Holtzman started his set, half of the people going home. Some of them cursing him while going, because it's very dark, it's very unconventional comedy, but it's also very, very funny. He knows how to do it very funny. And this Joe Rogan moved him when he opened and suddenly gave him a life. In his 60s, suddenly Brian Holtzman has a comedy career that he was for years in one club, in one spot, and now he's traveling. I just produced for him something in New York myself. So this is something different that I know from, and it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone.
I get. I start to wonder what he's doing that it's so dark and that so many people leave his show.
I give you an example. First show I saw him, there was a young guy with a disabled guy in a wheelchair with his sister, first row. 10 first minutes he was roasting this guy. For me, you're not disabled, you are lazy, I hate you guys, I cannot. Now everybody is laughing. Crazy, the guy's laughing, his sister is laughing, he's just making jokes, but he's taking them to the extreme. Say, every time I have to go to a flight, I have to go to wait for you guys. You know, it sounds bad, it sounds terrible.
Yeah, but it's like with agreeing adults. If people know for what they're coming.
Exactly, it's like he's taking subjects that many times you think about this idea, and there is something smart behind it, but he's taking them to the extreme. You don't understand how a sweet guy smiling going on stage and became like. But again, it's not for everyone. People sometimes cannot understand the joke, that it's just a joke, and I understand. If it comes to race, comes to things like that, I also feel not convenient to, even if it's a joke. It's not funny for me, So this is someone extreme, but it's really a niche. It's not like he's, Jerry Seinfeld now in America. But he's doing well for what he's doing.
I get that. It seems that he would much greatly with Polish stand-up comedy 10 years ago, because when Polish stand-up comedy started, it started as a strong opposition to cabaret, to sketch comedy show that started to be like mild, like overly for everybody, and stand-up comedy wanted to be a bad boy, and you will still hear lots of jokes about disabled people, rape, like everything at Polish open mics. I was doing also some dark stuff years ago, but now I'm not a fan. I mean, it's great that there are different people doing different things, different stuff, but now I wouldn't feel it. Now I'm even stopping slowly to do jokes about religion because I want just.
No, a few times I remember in open mics and stuff, things that you have to tolerate and you have to accept, but sometimes it's just this, you want to, puke from what people are saying. And thanks God I stopped. I didn't hear for years, and I'm not doing much open mics anymore, but everybody has sometimes have to give a take. Even about Jews and ovens and stuff, all kind of things that you're 17, 18, 19 years old American, why you try to bring jokes from World War II? Things are, sometimes I just don't get it.
If you are trying, there are many other topics about World War II than Jewish people.
Yeah, but it's usually going there. I didn't hear
jokes about Germans in Dresden.
Yeah. Many jokes. Yeah, I hear jokes about Germans from time to time. But
obviously.
Yes, but it's so weird. Yeah, no, it's a different topic, but it's not for today.
So about comedy in New York.
Yes.
How would you compare it to Comedy Stage in Krakow?
I can tell you that I'm doing style of comedy like I'm doing in Krakow and Europe in general, also in New York sometimes, because there are many tourists.
Okay.
So when there are rooms with people from different places in the world. This is the style here, basically. It has to be good enough that someone from the joke has to be good enough that someone.
I did not suppose you will give a serious answer to this question.
Okay.
But that's a nice surprise.
Yeah. So what do you mean? What do you mean about the crowd? There's nothing here. I'm dead. I'm 2 weeks here. I'm dead. I cannot. I want to go home already. Because in New York, even if I don't have a spot, I have 2 spots. I can work all the time. I go to practice. It's the best training camp in the world to become a comedian. First of all, you have open mics from 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's not like here once in 2 weeks you have an open mic with audience.
Yeah.
No, there you pay $5 and comedians performing to comedians and waiting.
Okay.
It can kill your soul from the inside in the one hand. In the other hand, it makes you stronger. So it's a very tough situation. But you have so many shows and so many things, so many options to practice, to work here. After 10 days without doing comedy, I feel like I never did it. It's so, in that matter, it's hard. It's not really happening here, It's a few people that are running your shows that think that it's happening, but it's not really happening now.
No, it's not
In
compared.
English.
In English, yeah. In Polish, it's way better. There are at least 2 open mics weekly.
That's correct.
That's all right.
That's something,
Yeah, but there's also Silesia agglomeration not far from here, with also agglomeration like Katowice, Tychy, and other cities like that basically work as one huge city. So comedians from here also on regular basis go there. There are open mics.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like 1 hour and 10 minutes. So I think it's almost like going from one place to another in New York with subway.
Absolutely. Sometimes I have spots. I'm going to, from where I live to go to Brooklyn. It's 1 hour by train. It's like to go to Katowice. Like just go on a train. And it's not that how to get from place to place. Just takes some time.
Yeah, but in English, open mics are more social events than anything else.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not jealous if somebody is here really. His thing is to progress in comedy in English. It's hard. It's not the place to be. Like if you really want to become a comedian in English.
Yeah.
In general, they say that you have to be on stage. You have to stand up from 5 to 7 times a week to progress.
Oh.
So to do to keep
5 to 7.
5 to 7. This is what and there is not nobody said that it's like a Torah or something.
Okay.
But this is. But what I said that it's hard for me not to do comedy. But thanks God, I'm coming back immediately. I'm touring and I have many things on my calendar until the end of the year and beginning of next year. So that's good.
Yeah, you made me thinking with that 5 to 7 weekly. I think barely anybody in Poland does 5 to 7 weekly because even in Warsaw there are not that many opportunities.
It's very hard. It's very hard to progress. I don't know if somebody. Yeah, but if you are here, you're working. So you have your shows and you're going to open mics in Polish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So you're a hard worker, so you do everything you can. So
and recently I feel I progress. I think I was in stagnation for a bit too long, for a couple of years, but now I feel I'm doing progress. But when I am 4 times a week on stage, that's a busy week.
that's okay.
Sometimes it happens that I've got 3 gigs and 1 open mic. By gigs I mean paid events or events that are mine in some other way. For example, ticketed that do not sell or something. Or I've got 1 gig and do 3 open mics. But in here there's basically just slight possibility of doing 2 open mics a night. For some time it happened that 1 Polish open mic and 1 English open mic was the same night, and that was only possibility to do 2.
And it's just a little bit confusing because you are very focused on the Polish, but then the English is completely different, I guess.
yeah, but that's
It wasn't
a
hard
good
for
thing
you?
to progress.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
When you have to do 2 sets, like 5 to 7 minutes in 2 different languages, that's not a bad thing for a brain to
Yeah,
happen when you
absolutely.
have to switch like that. So if there's so much comedy in New York, another question about unusual stuff. What's the unusual show you've taken part in?
Okay.
New York?
First of all, there is a lot of comedy, but there's tons of comedians also.
Okay, yeah.
So it's another, there are thousands. Everybody is coming there, so it's very competitive. And if you're not passing a club, so it's to get the spots, and it's a never-ending hustle. About shows, I can tell you a show that I wasn't part of, and I won't be. There is a very, very successful show now in New York that comedians going on stage naked.
Okay.
It's a big success. I don't know why people want, it's the same comedy. Think about the show we did. We just published that it's a naked show, and probably we would sell it out easily. People like shticks. People like this bullshit.
Yiddish word.
Yeah, exactly. So this is something I know. A few of my colleagues are doing it. I never went to see it, and I never gonna do it. But I saw pictures from time to time, and I know it's selling out like crazy.
And
Naked, 100%.
I get
naked.
that. I looked for another question
Yeah.
in my mind that escaped my mind for a moment. Like, are all the people performing like Instagram people, like good looking or something?
Not necessarily. Comedians usually are not that good looking as you. Both of
Thank
us,
you.
Both of us can admit. No, but a woman will go, she will be naked, a man will be with his schmeckel out. I don't know, it's turned people. People like, I believe in theme shows. Comedy for Peace is my baby, but during the years I had once a weekly show that every week I change a theme. I did only ginger comedians, only Asian comedians, only women, only lawyers, only a vegan. And then the vegan comedians suddenly, maybe it's something you should do here, you start to pack rooms. And I'm not vegan. But I started, for a year, I produced shows with vegan comedians to vegan audiences. They are very intelligent people in general, smart people to perform to, that love the attention, love that somebody is making them some special.
Were you hosting the show?
I was part of the committee. In the end, I was the headliner. I used to do like long sets. I was the only one that wasn't vegan, but I didn't tell it to no one. Nobody asked me, and I produced it. Brought only vegan comedians except of me. And people loved it. And in New York, in America in general, it's a market of 350 million people. I know somebody's touring and killing it with teachers doing comedy shows. Touring all over America. There is brown shows that doing very well everywhere. Brown shows, that means with, people from India, from South, from Bangladesh.
Syrians.
Exactly. So a show, regular show, how to sell. Brown show, woo! Yeah, let's go.
Now we are on the level that we've got, I believe, second tour made only of women that actually sells.
Yeah.
That's our level of diversity.
Okay, but it's, those...
And also some LGBT comedy, but...
I didn't even mention it, of course. In New York, it's strong LGBT comedy, LGBT mics, comedy, festivals. I always think that there were festivals, there are people that claiming to be LGBTQ just to be in the festivals. All kind of people I know, I don't think he's gay or she's gay. Suddenly they are in the festival.
There's also plus, right?
Yeah, the plus. We are in the plus. We are friendly to everyone, and people will do everything for a spot. This is
I'm bisexual, but I have one girlfriend for like 20 years.
Yeah, exactly. And I've never been with a man, but
who's gonna check, right? But the thing is, one of my friends that I actually had podcast with, Patrick Ciplik, that performs in drag as Oxymoron, tried to do comedy, LGBT comedy open mics, and had to cancel because not enough people signed up.
Okay, interesting.
I went to one, I signed up for one and performed, but it was like during the show there was host in drag, obviously gay, one gay performer, me and one girl definitely not being gay performing.
Yeah.
So even LGBT comedy is not growing in here yet. That fast.
Well, everything is smaller here. In New York, you know, I'm just thinking about there is somebody doing twice a week a sober open mic. People that are sober. There's tons of people in America that are sober. They stop drinking, they stop smoking because they got in trouble during the years.
Okay.
So there is a whole scene about sober comedy. And there's so many different stuff because it's just big and with millions of people and everybody's trying to bring the new idea. I also did 10 or 12 nights already, like Israelis doing comedy in English, packed rooms with that. We have a few Israelis that are doing comedy in English in New York. So I believe, you know, what is this business? This business, you became something when the second you start to put people on seats, people buying tickets for you. And this is the goal for all of us, that we can sell our names and people. But until then, you know, you have to be creative. You have to be creative.
Yeah, right. That's very inspiring that there's so many types of comedy in New York. I get why people would like to see Israelis. Because probably Jewish people want to hear different perspectives.
Yeah, most of the people in those shows are going to be Israelis or
you should call that Zion comedy or something.
Jewish Americans. I don't have idea to hear those Zionists, not Zionists.
Okay.
No, all this conversation all day. No, but people, you know, it's mostly Jewish Americans and Israelis coming to those shows, of course.
But why would people like to come to ginger comedy? Like.
People didn't, by the way. It wasn't a success.
Okay, so that one is true, that people do not like comedians with red hair. People in red hair.
And this is what I discovered. Not every show of my theme shows were a success. No, the gingers were very low talent, and it was funny for me to find 5 or 6 gingers and bring them to do a show. Because I just believe in those, I believe in this idea. It was a very small place in my neighborhood. You know, I also did for a year when Marek said to me, next year you're going to headline here in Krakow. That was basically, I headlined the first time here. You know, after...
Really?
Yeah, after 5 or 6 years in comedy. And after 5 years or something, I was featuring here. And Marek said, next year you're going to be a headliner here. So a few months before, I took my barber shop. We went with the barber, I bought chairs, and I turned my barber shop to a small club with 21 seats. I brought a light, and I sold tickets, and I brought 3 openers, and I started to practice long sets.
Okay.
You know, so you have to be all the time.
So you were a comedian before you moved to New York, right?
No. Not really.
Yeah, I thought you were a comedian in Israel before.
No, I did comedy in Hebrew maybe 5 times in my life. I have some desire sometimes to do it. Also, people are asking me, and sometimes I just want to do it because it's my language, but I feel that I don't know how to do it now. I was a singer-songwriter in Israel, and I released a few albums, and I was telling jokes between between songs, and people used to tell me that during the years, maybe you should do it because, I don't know, I made them laugh. But I just started to think about it. I never thought about it, really. Just when around 10 years ago, I started to, suddenly something inside of me said maybe I should try it. Then I met Julia here in Krakow during this weekend that changed my life. And very fast, she started to tell me, listen, I think this is what you're supposed to do. She started to send me to listen to comedy. Now she's a little bit regretful because, you know, I'm traveling a lot and she doesn't see me at night.
And also, comedians tend to be more annoying than singers, songwriters.
That's true. It's harder for, it's true. I think you're definitely right.
Because when you're a singer, songwriter at a date, you are looking for poetic, metaphorical compliment, and when you're a comedian, you are looking for a comeback.
So, that's true, but also I come from a stage. I did drama school in Israel. I was a theater actor. I did commercials. I did things. I did many things, many improvisation shows, short forms. I was a host for 15 years with a little traveling group in Israel. I used to do private gigs.
When you once mentioned that you've done improv show, I understood that you've done it like 5 times or something.
No, I did it many years.
Okay.
But mostly as the host.
Okay.
You know, with like short form games, and we used to come to things that you're doing sometimes, you know, like there is a birthday or something, and I'm doing a research with the wife of the guy that's celebrating 40 and one of his friends, and we're writing stuff, and we involve it in the improvisation about his life, and all the audience say, oh my God, how they know that he's this and that. So I used to do it many years, so I think that I earned the crowd work ability, but it took me 5-6 years in English to start to feel comfortable to do it. And I still have situations, I'm totally honest, I'm starting to speak with someone and he's answering me and I have no clue what he told me. Because English can come in so many versions. It can be in so many accents and words that I never heard. I just learned how to deal with it and even to make from the mistake, to make it funny. But yeah, absolutely. But comedy, only in English, 99% in English. And when I started in New York, and I started in New York, open mics, and in the stage name, nobody knows who I am. And in New York, there is this thing, you want to start to have stage time in shows. So they call it bringer shows. You want 5 minutes, you're going to bring 5 friends. They're going to buy a ticket plus 2 drinks. And in the beginning, I had no friends. I didn't know who I didn't want even my wife to see me in the beginning. You know, so I started to produce. I just started to do my own shows. I said, fuck that bringer shows. I don't feel comfortable to ask for someone to come to see me suck for 5 minutes. I just started. I don't know to land a joke. So there is a whole industry about that many people that are producing those bringers, of course, are frustrated comedians that this is how they make their living, and all kind of clubs that are taking advantage of the wannabes or the youngsters. This is how those industries is working. And so I just learned that even big comedians in New York, during the week, they are in New York. They are mostly traveling during the weekend. And during the week, they are practicing new material or whatever. And you can go to them and to offer them to do your show. And sometimes they're going to say yes. And they ask for money. They will ask for a really small amount of money, maybe $20, $25 for a spot. Like, you know, big names today like Mark Norman. I don't know if you ever heard about this guy, but he's like now he's opening for Seinfeld sometimes, and he's doing also Europe tours and stuff. This guy came to my shows a few times. Or Sam Morril, or all kind of people that headlining regularly the biggest clubs in New York that you never heard their names, but they are wonderful comedians. And I just started to produce.
I think I heard about Mark Norman.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you heard about it. And you know, I was from the beginning, I was always the worst comedian in the lineup, but it challenged me, and I learned from those guys, and you know, I got stronger.
Yeah, with 5 to 7 a week performances.
Yeah, and also as a producer, you can give yourself as much time as you want. Comedy for a piece, in the beginning, I used to give myself 10 minutes, and then 15 minutes, and then 20 minutes, and then, you know, now I can do whatever I want. Sometimes I'm headliner of comedy for a piece, not always. So I can do half an hour, 35 minutes. I can do whatever I want. I'm the boss. So this is what's good about that, doing for yourself.
Yeah, so that's the very interesting advice. That was also a surprise that if you have organization skills, you may skip the...
Today, I think you have to do it. You have to do it by yourself. You cannot, unless you are someone that, you know, people, or you have luck, or really like unique, that someone see you and immediately bring you to some age. But it's not happening, those things. There's so many comedians.
I mean, with TikTok and Instagram nowadays, it sometimes happens like almost, maybe not instantly, but in like year and a half.
For how many people it happened? For 20, from How many comedians?
Hundreds.
Hundreds
Yeah, but still
and
it
thousands.
happens. It happens.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, of course.
but it's not a good plan to have that my TikToks will go viral and will
But
get
it's amazing that you can do it by yourself.
Yeah.
Think
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it 30 years ago. What would you do? Like now you can promote yourself. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, push it, be creative, trying to do, you know.
I actually don't remember 30 years ago, but 20 years ago, we tried with my sketch comedy group to get famous because of cabaret competitions, sketch comedy competitions. To get more popular, and it worked to some extent because we were invited to many different shows, but it's very frustrating plan to have.
So you have this platform also in America. You have festivals that you're trying to, you know, you are apply for festivals, paying, I don't know, $20, $30, send a tape. And there are big festivals that they can really give you exposure. And then there's tons of garbage festivals that it's just an adventure to go there. And networking, it's all about networking also, you know, because now I go to places already, I know people there. So, hey, there is a spot, there is something, let's do, open for me. Like 2 weeks ago, I'm doing a show in Chicago. Marek is opening for me in Chicago.
A comedian that used to host shows in Krakow. He's Polish-American now, went back to Chicago like a year ago.
Yeah, exactly. So this is part of it's very important, this networking everywhere. And it's also fun, you know, to come, to see a friend you didn't see for a while. Like I see you once a year, twice a year.
Yeah, but I remember you said also interesting things about stand-up comedy scene in Israel.
Yes.
I remember you mentioned a comedian that is addicted to performing, that he's...
Yes.
I mean, most comedians are addicted in some way, but
Yeah.
the guy you mentioned seemed like a serious case.
Yeah, I think you mean his name is Shachar Hasson. He's doing it for 25 years. And he also established with another guy the English comedy scene in Israel. And today he's a big star because also he's doing television. And so, but this guy, I always feel that he's married like to his next show. So Sunday, Monday, he's doing long sets and long big shows in English. And then, you know, he can sell any venue in any size in Israel.
Okay.
So, and I don't know if he's still doing it, but a few years ago when I was still more than open micer and I used to come to Israel and we used to go all kind of small gigs in English, he used to come. He finished, and I think he once came to New York. He's very famous and he did like a 700, 800 seater sold out theater in my neighborhood where I live. Finished it, took the subway, went to an open mic in English, paid $5 and waited online for his 5 minutes. You know, who?
$5 for performing.
$5 to perform. After he did 700 tickets sold out in Hebrew for 2 hours, he finished, say thank you to everyone, probably gave a few, pictures and selfies to people, took the subway, went downtown like any other beginner and waited in line and did 5 minutes that he paid for. So this is someone that really likes comedy.
Yeah.
Is really into what he's doing. So
yeah, that's impressive. Yeah. But I'm thinking to cut all the parts when you mention paying for performing, because I'm afraid it will put idea in some heads and that we will start to have shows or bringer shows.
That's true. Maybe you should, because they started to do this bullshit now in Israel. I see in the comedy Facebook. So they started doing the last year or two. You want to perform, tell how many people you bring. You're going to get minutes based on the people you are bringing, and blah, 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 blah. So it definitely happens in Israel. In Israel, there is a sweet, small English comedy scene. You can do shows in Tel Aviv. You can do show in Jerusalem. Sometimes I did in a different city near Tel Aviv last time. And also the Hebrew is developing. There are a few big stars. The comedy there now, when I see comedy, and most of the comedy, it's rougher. It's like you talking here about like 10 years ago. I'm coming from New York, from the PC, from the, you go, and suddenly you see things that are very dark, can be racist. Can
In
be,
Israel.
yeah, not everyone, but you can see this kind of comedy and I say, oh my God. I think the first time I felt a New Yorker is after watching comedy in Israel a few years ago. And I said, oh my God, why are you saying that? It's not, oh no, it's racist. And yeah, so it's a sin like everybody, everywhere. Even, also here I learned to, it's like a never-ending high school. All the comedians with all the little thing, who's doing that and who's doing what.
Oh, talking behind the back. Yeah,
and all this.
That's why I like it. I feel like in high school once again.
Right? It's like never-ending high school. It's so annoying.
I mean, in English, it's like a high school, a little bit.
Yeah, I have no clue about the Polish scene here.
I have many nice friends and met many wonderful people at Polish stand-up comedy stage, but at the same time, it may be very toxic. Sometimes, maybe like all that discussion. I'm doing real stand-up, and he's not because he's singing in between. Yeah,
exactly. How many people you believe doing comedy in Krakow?
it depends.
Or in Poland?
Depends how you count.
With numbers. Numbers.
Yeah, but comedy in general.
Yeah.
I would say that if we would count everybody, it would be 200.
In Poland?
Polish in Krakow.
In Krakow?
If
it's a lot.
If we will count in stand-up comedy all the pros and all the open micers.
Polish, in Polish and in English.
Yeah, in Polish and in English. Then, if we count every improviser, that's 100 at least.
Okay.
Every improviser that has a show on a regular basis, not often, but I don't know, once a month.
Yeah.
There are lots of improvisers.
Okay.
Then there's sketch comedy, cabaret. I think if I counted all my friends that do sketch comedy or something similar or something that is comedy but has no name for it. Now I'm performing from time to time with Zdzibor Szpak, a guy that plays on sausage.
That's your career is skyrocketing also, not only when I'm here.
No. It's an adventure doing stuff with him. He's doing many different things, but playing sausage is one of them. Then, if we are counting sketch comedy and improv, we have to count clowns.
We have to count clowns.
Yeah, definitely.
We have to.
And there would be other people that are like doing theatrical funny monologues.
Okay. Where are they doing all those things? In the English comedy mics here are coming, it's the exact same 7-8 people that I see here for basically a decade. Only the people from Finland disappeared. And by the way, it's not that bad thing that it happened. No comment.
Where they're doing in different places, like improv. I don't know where improv people do their stuff nowadays, but they work.
So there is a scene here. There is a scene. Like, that's nice.
Yeah, there is a scene. There are 2 open mics weekly.
Polish.
In Polish, yeah, of course, in Polish, at 103.8 FM, 103 and 8.
It's comedians to comedians, or people are coming to watch?
No, people are coming. Not that many, but like 20 people usually, sometimes 30.
It's amazing.
It's
for
right.
us, I remember we used to do mics. If there is a civilian in the audience, we were so excited. There is some normal person that is not a comedian. 20 people, it's great. It's a show, 20 people.
Well, when it comes to many people that do cabarets, Polish sketch comedy, they usually do not have regular shows, but there's a base of sketch comedy people that live in Krakow and do rehearsals here and perform here from time to time and then tour wherever they're invited or wherever they will organize. I actually do not know the exact number, but I know many people from those different societies. Also, if we count clowns, there's whole organization of clowns in hospitals, and they are doing comedy, but not on the stage, right? So
Yeah,
they
they're
do
doing
not need the
something
stage.
important, that's for sure.
I mean, it's funny, it's comedy.
Yeah, I know what is it. I know there is also in Israel this clowns for hospitals. It's great that it's happening.
I think I should also say that other people would probably give you smaller numbers, but I know people from many different artistic or creative ways of life.
Yeah.
So I'm in contact with many
you are
different.
touching all those things. It's very nice.
Yeah, it's also like a good thing for business, because whenever a comedian is being asked about recommending comedian, he would say like, take me. And when they will ask,
Maybe it's about time to somebody open a real comedy club here, you know? Not Chicago, something that will be for comedy and sketch comedy and things like that.
oh, now you're saying a blasphemy. Because Polish stand-up comedy, huge part of Polish stand-up comedy hates cabaret, hates sketch comedy.
Okay.
Even some people from cabaret hates cabaret because it's so like mild.
Yeah, now in Warsaw, I just performed in a new comedy club, the local, it's called. It's nice. A legit comedy club, you know, that people get too used to. There is, during the week, there is shows in Polish, shows in English. And
I know one guy is thinking about opening actual comedy club, but mostly for Polish stuff. But probably if enough stuff in Polish will happen there, he will also
be open for others.
Open for English comedy. Although like Polish audience is way bigger. Audience in English is also quite small, because that's the same pretty small group of expats that happen to like stand-up comedy.
Yeah, but on the other hand, if it's in the square area and you have barkers and you have a team like they're putting in Times Square in America, teams that all day selling, there's so many tourists here. And then, but you know, it's a different subject. There is a potential here. There is so many people here. You can sell 100 tickets a day here for tourists, I'm sure, with the hotels, with the thing.
Maybe, I don't know. We have to consider the thing that to New York, some people will go to see stand-up comedy, because New York is connected with stand-up comedy, and Kraków is connected with dragon. What?
With dragons, right.
With dragon and getting slashed.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that we have many tourists in here, I think getting them to see stand-up comedy show is harder than in New York. I'm not saying impossible, but
no, I understand what you're saying.
but harder. I think getting them to see like Polish folk show with music would be easier. But
Absolutely.
that may be idea. Like stand-up comedy with
Maybe my wife will force me to live here. I'll have to open it or something.
yeah, maybe since you're an experienced producer.
Yeah.
Are you thinking about moving here?
No.
Okay, good for you, because your career would die.
No, absolutely. No.
I mean, if you learned Polish, I think it would be a great niche Jewish guy doing it in Polish.
But no. I love it here. It's another home. I really love Krakow. I'm enjoying Poland. But no. Answer is no.
Getting that. So in the link, I will post one of your albums as a singer-songwriter, because I like them. I listen to them.
Oh, that's sweet of you. Thank you.
No worries, I listen to them because I like the sound. I do not understand nothing.
You know that I have one I never released. I have to send you to see what you think, my third one.
Yeah, I will be happy to listen to that. And at the end, I would like us to promote some other stuff you do. For example, what you post in your social media.
You ask me what I'm posting in my social media. Mostly I'm posting reels in my social media. Funny crowd works moment that I'm having during my shows. But I'm really planning. I want to film my first hour, hopefully next year. I think it's about time. I think, you know, there are things that also I'm doing for so long, enough, let's put it out there. And I think it's needed because many people, they, you know, it's so very competitive today. And you just, I think you have to, I don't know if to sacrifice, but you have to bring your first hour out somehow. I think so. This is what I feel, that it's about time. Because many people that are going to my YouTube, sometimes they say, okay, it's very funny things with audience, but where is the material?
Okay.
You know, so this is, I think, and I not just want to burn material, you know, A-lists just like that. It's so hard to make it happen. And so I always, and any, people don't understand, I don't know who will listening to us, if people that are not in the comedy world, to understand how come in a one way, like I said, it's amazing we have the opportunities now to do it in TikTok, to do it here. So we have more opportunities. On the other hand, it's like 9 different professions, you know, to film, to edit, to, you know, that the sound will sound good, to promote it, social media, it's a profession.
To produce.
To produce, it's a profession. To sell tickets, it's a, you know, to do PR, it's a profession.
Yeah.
So somehow to do all of those things together, marketing, it's really hard. So I'm trying to bring everything together. I have a small company and I'm working with an assistant, but now I think I'm going to take it to the next level because I just tried it for a while and I really point in a position, someone that works from morning, you know, like a worker, someone that doing it from morning until night or until afternoon and make it all the time, the fight is all the time to make it more professional, to look good, to sound good, to be more funny, more developed, and that people will hear about it. So it's such a hustle. I don't know how I got into all of this.
Probably because you wanted to perform.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think we're doing something that, in a way, we have to do it because there's not any logic. You know how hard it is and how many struggles and disappointments.
Yeah.
And, you know, you have to be a little bit like something is off with us.
Yeah, you need to control your to be
Exactly, you need to
successful.
control, you know.
You
Yeah.
have to strongly believe that you're going to succeed, and at the same time you need to look for niches and
Yeah, I think by doing it, by performing that, by earning money from that, you're already doing it. You know, in our heads, I don't know, Seinfeld is success. No, but you're also a success story. You're traveling, you're performing, you're making,
Yeah.
you're earning, you're living from it. It's a big thing, you know?
Yeah, of course
You're
it is.
doing what you love.
I try to remind that to myself every day that
Yeah.
I catch to edit a podcast and write a blog post to sell a show and and I did not have to go to I don't know, to warehouse to put boxes. I've got nothing against people working at
No, God
warehouses.
forbid, but many of them are waking up in the morning and not that excited
Yeah.
to go and do, you know.
It's a terrible thing, but sometimes I also do not wake up that excited, and I should be.
Of
every
course
day.
not. It's really hard. I have many hard days. And you know, last week I had a show in Warsaw that 2 people stood up and started to curse me because I said the word anti-Semitism. And you know my comedy. I'm not really political. I'm not offending. I'm doing comedy for peace. But being an Israeli, 2 people just came and started to curse me. And I'm telling him, I didn't know what to do. I said, I love you guys. I love you guys. I didn't know what to do. I was like an idiot there. You know, it's really influenced me. Since then, I'm thinking a lot about it, also what to write, what to do next time better. Am I on a risk now on stage? Because in America, I'm doing it a lot, and mostly, maybe in Europe, I'm more in risk now because what happened in Israel and the terrible government that we have and all this killing. And there's so much sadness and so many things involved. Comedy is hard enough, you know. I'm not going on stage and representing no one. I'm me. I'm representing my life, my story, my twisted mind, my relationship.
get that.
You know, I'm not representing no way that I'm representing the government of Israel. Okay, I'm really disgusted about what's going on. And in the other hand, I can tell you a whole list of people that I lost after October 7, and I have a friend that is still a hostage. So the pain is coming from so many different situations. I don't know how I got to this, but it's just something that's sitting on me as a comedian today because it's my reality.
Yeah.
Also,
it has to be very, very unpleasant.
Yeah.
About these guys that started shouting at you during the show, you told me about that before.
Yeah.
And I started to think that maybe they come on purpose to wait for a moment to boo at you. It is totally
I don't
possible.
know. I don't know. I don't know if they read who is performing that night. Maybe they did, maybe they did not. I don't know. Everybody was in shock. Ariel Bialski that runs the show there with me said never like that happened. They said they were Arab kids. I don't know. I don't care. It's just, it wasn't pleasant and they made me feel very bad.
Okay, I get that. So let's finish with that happy thoughts.
No, maybe think something happy. No?
Yeah, I mean, we may finish with something happy, but nothing pops into my mind.
Yeah, so maybe we can bring something happy from before and add it. No, I'm kidding. Everything is okay. We are alive. We're doing what we love. We're a little bit crazy to do it. And thanks God that people are, if somebody stayed with us after 1 hour and 22 minutes, well, God bless him. Thank you so much. And I hope it was interesting enough to stay with us all this time.
Yeah, I think some people may have stayed because I'm getting like 150 hours of listening a month.
Okay.
So some people have to listen to the end.
And some people really don't have life, so they can spend.
Yeah, also it's a podcast, so they're listening to that while doing dishes.
Driving or in the traffic.
Yeah, so they're not... Fortunately, you did not waste your life for this conversation because it was very interesting.
Very.
No, I was really happy to hear once more all the stories about New York, some of them for the first time, and about performing in Israel.
You're going to come and perform naked in New York soon? This is what you want to say, basically?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's.
We're looking forward to see you.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting skinner and skinner. I want to work on my muscle and gather money for
We really want to see you.
Definitely. I definitely want to show my schmeckel. I love Yiddish words for stuff like...
Yeah, this is perfect word, schmeckel. I love schmeckel.
At the same time, I think that like half of Yiddish words would pass for a schmeckel. For penis, because...
And there is a schmeckel and there is 2 beckels.
Really?
I invented, it's my English word. I invented a new
Schmeckel
word.
and beckel.
And beckels.
But what I mean, shtick, I know it's something different, it's a gimmick.
Yeah, shtick is like a gimmick.
But shtick would pass as a word for penis?
No. Shtick for penis?
Yeah, like a stick.
Maybe I wasn't thinking about that.
Then the word that means everything.
You know what is penis? It's schmuck. You know schmuck. Everybody in New York, schmuck, it means penis in Yiddish.
I thought it's an idiot.
It's also an idiot because he's a dick, so be a schmuck.
Schmuck or douchebag or something.
Yeah, but it's also, it's dick, but it means like stop being a dick, don't be a dick, he's a dick.
What other Yiddish words I know? Meshugenekop?
Yeah.
Pass for penis?
Yeah, Meshugenekoip, right?
Meshugenekop.
Yeah, Meshugene, there's Bissele, it's a little Bissele, Schmuck, Dreck, Schmattes, you know what is Schmatte? Something old that you don't need.
Really? That's like...
You have this market here that sell all these Schmattes. There is some market here on Sundays.
I think it's the same in Polish. Szmata, like old rag.
Exactly. Yeah.
So szmata is something you put on the floor when you've got a wet
you can also fabric. You can also use it as a schmata. Yeah, but schmata can be something like broken glass that somebody is selling in the market. What is this schmata?
That szmata would not pass as penis word.
No.
And
schmata, no.
Now I think we can totally finish. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you. I had the opportunity to host my first podcast in English. I was not as nervous as I thought.
No, you were great. You speak great English.
Thank you very much.